Hello. Welcome to Christy Iwuchukwu's Brilliance TV show. This is the show that we do every Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's right, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Same place, same time. And today I have an awesome show for you today. I have a special guest joining us all the way from London. But before I tell you about my guest and what the show is all about today, so who am I? My name is Christy Iwuchukwu. And of course, if you've been following me, you know exactly who I am. And I host this show. I'm the host of this show. So what do we do at Christy Iwuchukwu's Brilliance TV show? This is the show that we spotlight today's top business leaders, entrepreneurs, unique and most successful individuals to do what? To bring you information that you're going to use to up level in your personal life as well as in your business. And today I have just a special expert to help you do just that. So, who do I have with me today? Like I said, she's coming to us all the way from London. So today I have Joanne Moorhouse. That's right. Joanne Moorhouse. Who is she? She is a brand photographer and strategist. And she really helps entrepreneurs shine online, brand themselves online so that they can stand out. It's not just branding yourself, so that you can stand out. And thanks to pandemic, almost every business is now online. And even though we are still opening up gradually, I prophesize that at the end of all this, most businesses are going to be conducted online, even though we're opening up after pandemic. So please, if you have heard about what we're talking about today, chime in the conversation. And if you have never heard about this craze going on right now in photography, come on over, bring your pen, something to write with, your iPad, your paper, because I got mine here ready. And you want to come and join us in this conversation. So please help me welcome my guest today, Joanne Moorhouse. Joanne, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me today.
Awesome. So for those people, you and I have gotten to talk, and we met through Pamela Chanel David. But before we get to that, for those of my viewers that don't know who you are, can you please tell us exactly who is Joanne?
Well, I'm Joanne, and I help female entrepreneurs to truly own your brand with a message of confidence. And not only am I a photographer, but I also do graphic design, brand strategy, and mostly I'm a storyteller. I enjoy working with entrepreneurs in all industries. Recently, I've started opening my service up globally. And basically, I help business women get your message out in front of your audience so that you stand out more and build that level of know, like, and trust that we need for people to want to work with you or purchase from you.
Awesome. You talk about being a storyteller, but before even we get there, being a storyteller, because I myself help speakers tell their stories better. But before we get to the storytelling part of your photography, how did you get into photography?
Well, I've always loved photography as far back as I can remember. I've always had a camera with me, taking snapshots of friends, families, on holidays, any opportunity. And it just developed from there. While I lived in America for many years, and while there, I started doing freelance photography for people. So it was a bit of everything. family photography, engagements, pets, places, pretty much anything that people wanted photographed, I'd help with. Since moving over here to England, I then took a course and learned all about brand photography, which I absolutely love. I love working with other entrepreneurs to help get their message out, and it's just gone from there, and it's definitely where my heart is.
So tell me, because of this pandemic, I know that a lot of businesses have pivoted. A lot of businesses are now online. However, there are things that we used to do and do it better live than being online. So how have you evolved in terms of your work being a photographer? How have you evolved, or have you pivoted?
Well, basically, back in March, we went into lockdown over here, as was the case in most areas. And because of this, I was no longer able to get out and do photography as I was used to. So I needed to find a way to continue to stay open and help support other businesses so that they could remain visible during what was going to be a challenging year. I'd been working with a photography mentor, and through her, I was introduced to the idea of virtual photography. And as anyone who I mention this to says, my first thoughts also were, what is it and how on earth does it work? And so then I set myself the task of learning all I could about this new way of taking photos. And once I had the basics, I then practiced on family and friends, tried out different programs. And because my goal was to help businesses stay visible, because it's so important to get your message out there and build that level of trust. And in the end, I found a way to do photography virtually, and it's been amazing the feedback I've been getting, and the feedback that my clients are getting from their photos that's keeping them visible in front of their audiences.
Before we get into your virtual photography, because I want to know more about it. I really want to know more about it. But you talk about being a storyteller.
Hmm.
How are you, the photographer, a storyteller? And how does that help an entrepreneur? How are you? I can talk about how to tell a story live, but as a photographer, tell me how you've been able to help entrepreneurs tell a story and be able to amplify their brand.
Basically, it's getting to know the people that I'm working with, doing a real deep dive into what makes them tick, what their business is all about, what their goals are, what their dreams are. We do this through quite an extensive pre-planning session. So we share information back and forth and really plan out the sort of visual stories that we want to tell during our photo session. And from there, it helps guide us on the day so that we can get their message out, so that it does sort of bring the audience into the business and makes them feel like they know them, potentially they're friends with them, they know what the business is all about. It just through the visual storytelling, you're building that level of trust that you need, because as you know, that people do business with people, and that's what you really want to be getting out there. So it's mostly taking the time to really get to know everything about the business.
So what I'm hearing you saying is not just about just taking photographs, but
No.
it's really about thinking about what you're going to use the photograph for, and being able to have people see it without saying a word. Say everything without saying a word. In other words, you help them bring out the things that they can't even say through your photographs. Am I right?
Definitely. Yeah, it can help guide you as well with if you're using images in your posts, you want to grab that short a second or two of interest as someone's scrolling through their feed. And if you have a photo that's powerful and really tells a story, that's going to stop them from their scroll to read more. And that's what you want to do, is capture their imagination, their attention, and go from there.
Awesome. So you want to be able to capture whatever that is not being said. So tell me, you pivoted, like we talked a little bit about it, and I saw some of your work. It absolutely looked like stock image. I don't know how you did it. And I said to Chanel, I got to talk to you to find out exactly, because this is a new crave because of pandemic, and I don't see going back. But even more so, I don't know that a lot of people know that you can stay in London and take a photograph with somebody or for somebody who lives here in California, which you just did recently. And that's where I
Yeah.
saw the work, and I could not believe. And I'm still thinking in my mind, how are you able to do, how are you able to stay in England and take a photograph of somebody who lives here in Sacramento, not just California, in Sacramento? How is that possible? Can you take us into the world of a virtual photographer?
Basically, it's not too different from an in-person shoot, at least at the beginning stages, because I'm still spending the time getting to know my client and everything about them. We're still going over storytelling, gathering the stories that we want to tell. We just do that virtually instead over Zoom or one of the online chat facilities. And I also, for my clients that are on Pinterest, I also create share boards within that we can share inspiration with each other. And it's just between the two of us. So they don't have to worry about others seeing it. And that just helps guide the shoot. And then on the day, I would contact them through my computer, and they're on their phone, and it's basically directing them on their phone. So where to place their phone, where it's best for them to place themselves, taking into factor what's around them, the light that's in the room or location that they're at, and just taking a series of screenshots, which I then on the back end convert into still images for them. So it's a great way for businesses to stay visible online when you can't get out and about. But because it's been quite popular, I've actually added it as a permanent offering within my business as an option to have a virtual or an in-person shoot, because it also helps the business owner that is busy within their job and they don't have a lot of time to take out of their day to spend driving somewhere, having a photo shoot, driving back. With a virtual shoot, they can have the photos done wherever they are, and it only takes an hour, and then they can get back on with their day. And within that week, they have a series of images that they can start using to promote themselves online.
Oh wow. I mean, I just said to myself, how did they do all that? That was what I said when Chanel was telling me about it. But let me say hello to all my viewers. Thanks for watching us. If you have any comments, please go ahead and put it in the comment section, and I will get back to you. Thank you and welcome. I appreciate you joining us. Today we are talking about how can an entrepreneur stand out? Hello, Quenne. Thanks for joining us. How can an entrepreneur stand out using not just branded image, but this crave that we are going on right now? Having to take a picture here in Sacramento, and the photographer is all the way in England. And I'm asking, how are you able to do that? Until I saw the photographs that you took, and we're going to show some of your work because I just couldn't believe it. But like I said, this is the new way of doing business. Even after pandemic is all gone, a lot of businesses are now online. A lot of businesses are now online. Can you imagine the ease of having to be at your home anywhere? As a matter of fact, anywhere, because I saw a photograph that you took, and Chanel was along the bridge, and you took that photograph, and I don't know how you did it. You were in London, and she was here in Sacramento, and you took the photograph. But I'm gonna show the photograph later on. But I think for me, it wasn't just the photograph itself, because you can go anywhere and take a photograph, but it's the planning session that you take your clients through. You have, we're going to talk about it at the end, but the planning session that you really take your clients through, and because you're also an entrepreneur, it makes it a lot easy, because whether you talked about being on Pinterest and posting their information, inspiration, very unique, that is only tailored to that particular entrepreneurs, not just anybody else. And you can even help them. You help them strategize what they're going to use the picture for, and what will be the post that will really tell the story. As you said, you are a storyteller as well, but in your case, you're telling the story using the images of your clients. How easy has that been for you? Do you find that it's easier doing this now versus the old way of doing business? What can you say?
In a way, it's easier. I can do more shoots per day as I don't have the travel time in between. I do still prefer the personalized in-person shoots, because you really get to, you've built up this relationship with the client that you're working with. It's nice to work with them. Plus you get inspiration at the location you're at as well. But virtual shoots, I've had an amazing reaction to the response to them. The first month I offered them, I think I had about a dozen booked. And going from the month prior, when it was quite slow because of everything that was going on in our world at the moment, it was just amazing. And it is, there's good months and slow months, but in general, I mean, I'm still getting inquiries about it. There's still definitely a lot of interest in virtual shoots, and it's so easy because it only takes an hour of your time, and then you can get on with your day.
I think we will talk about it later, because I am definitely going to do that with you, because I take photograph, but oftentimes the photographer just take the picture you ask the person to take. But having you as an entrepreneur, as a storyteller, makes a big difference, where you're guiding the person, your clients, as they are taking the picture. You're able to tell what will work and what wouldn't work, depending on what is it they are trying to capture, the image they are trying to capture, and the purpose of the image. So as we go into pandemic right now, and I hear you say you still prefer in-house. But what is in it for an entrepreneur? This virtual photography, how can that really help the person versus just going to just a studio and taking a photograph, for somebody who's not a storyteller like you?
Well, working with someone that really gets to know you, you're going to have more authentic photographs. You're going to appear more natural, relaxed, more confident in front of the camera, especially if you're in a location that you feel comfortable in, say your office, or you're in and around your home or favorite park or wherever it is. If you go to a studio, it's great for some people, but you're not in your own situation, so you may have your guard up a little bit. You're not going to be as natural as you are in your own surroundings. And virtual shoots especially are good for maybe the less confident entrepreneurs, because you don't have someone with their camera right in front of you. It's as if you're just having a conversation with a friend on the phone, and you don't know exactly when the photos are being taken. So you get a lot of candid reactions that work really well for telling your story and getting your message out there.
I mean, I cannot wait to have mine taken. I just cannot wait. And we're going to talk more about it, because you don't just take it once. You have several packages where some of them, if you want your package to be every quarter, you take whatever you want to take. And so we're going to talk about that later on, because I think that this service will really help a lot of entrepreneurs, especially now that we are so busy. Now, some of us are at home, some of us are not at home. And even when we're at home, we're still busy. And when you talk about being an introvert, I'm gonna tell you, that reminds me, I had a friend. It took almost 100 takings before the photographer can get one good picture. Like you said, if they don't know that anyone is taking the picture, can you imagine how fast? And at a point, she was getting frustrated because just couldn't get a nice picture, right? So can we show some of your work? And I think, thanks for watching us, Quinette. I appreciate you. I want to show some of your work, because I don't want to just be me, Christy, talking. I want people to be able to see some of what I'm talking about, okay? So at this point, I want to be able to go, if this thing would allow me. Let me see. I'm learning how to use this. This is one of your pictures, okay? Okay. Tell us a little bit about this picture.
This is for a lady. She wanted pictures mainly for social media, but also for her website. And this particular picture, we wanted a background with a lot of open space around her so that she could use it to create an ad, put some text in there, or put her logo in within the space. And it just worked out perfectly. And she chose the sweater particularly because she liked the message on it, and it's friendly. It shows her personality.
Wow, I love that, and I love the way, like you said, you can put words on the side of that picture, and what a beautiful, beautiful picture. So this is, I almost thought it was a stock photo. I told you, I saw something similar. I was wondering, is this a stock photo or did you take this? This is absolutely gorgeous. And now I'm going to bring another picture that you recently took. Now, this was the one that I said, I can't believe it. So tell us a little bit about you taking Chanel's picture here.
Well, she chose the backdrop. It's a place, I believe, that's near to her, and she quite liked it for the surroundings. And I wanted to get pictures that show her personality, her natural beauty and everything. And so I thought a picture of her slowly walking towards me, it helps show motion, friendliness, and it just turned out really well. I applied softening during the editing process around the edges to soften it up a little bit, and we were both very happy with it.
I love this picture. I mean, I love this picture. And by the way, Chanel, for some of you don't know, she lives here in Sacramento. That's what got my interest. How did they do that? And then I saw another one where she is a round one. That one was also the black and white picture. That was also gorgeous as well. So I'm going to show one last picture and tell us a little bit about this picture. Oh my God, this is gorgeous. Tell us a little bit about this photograph.
This is for another lady. She's actually over in Arizona. And she has a couple different businesses, and she also was looking for photos that she could use at the moment. She does a lot of speaking events, so she needed photos for that, as well as for her website and other promotions. And this was just one, we wanted to capture one of her as if she was going about her day, so that it invites her audience into what it's like to work with her, brings out her personality, and it worked well for her.
I love this picture. I mean, was this taken at home or on and off? This is really gorgeous.
That was at her house.
This was at her. This is gorgeous. The convenience. First of all, the convenience of not having to leave home, and get your pic. Just, I mean, I can't say enough about what you do. So let's get back to regularly scheduled program. Oh, I'm doing so good at this. I am doing so good at. Let me see. Let me go back. We have thank you for watching. Thanks everyone for watching. I wanted to show virtual. Today we're talking about how virtual photography, not just for virtual, brand photography can help you as an entrepreneur to shine, to stand out. And in this case, today we're talking about virtual photography. So Joanne, if you're not here from the beginning, Joanne is a virtual photographer that she has added in since pandemic hit. And I saw her because a friend of mine that I interviewed took a photograph, and she lives in London. And she took the photograph of someone who lives here in Sacramento. That's why I said I got to bring her, because up till then, I've never heard anything about virtual photography. And this is really, really awesome. The convenience of never have to leave home, just take it anywhere, under the bridge, above the bridge, in the market, on road, anywhere you want. You can take your photograph and you don't even have to. I think what makes it so convenient and comfortable, convenient and comfortable, is that I don't see you. So I could be doing whatever, and you just clicking clicking and just taking my photograph, taking a lot of candid pictures. So I really, really enjoy that. Let me say hello. Thank you, Darashe. Thanks for watching me. I appreciate you guys. Josette, thanks for watching. And Quinette, I appreciate you guys watching. If you have a comment, please leave the comment. If you have a question for my guest today, we'll take your question at the end of our conversation. We'll take your question at the end of the conversation. You have an opportunity also to contact her at the end of the conversation. So how has this been going on in England? Is it a lot of people doing this virtual photography, or how has it, because this is the first time I'm hearing it. It wasn't until Chanel took the picture that I heard about it. So how is that?
There aren't very many of us that are doing it. There were quite a few people that started doing what they call doorstop photography, where they would go and from a socially distanced distance, they would take family photos for people on their doorsteps. This is going a step beyond that, because you're actually helping the business to promote you're promoting the business, taking the brand photos. You just don't have to travel to them, and they don't have to travel to you. It's all done online. And I'd say there's probably maybe a dozen of us over here that I know of that are doing it.
Wow. You know what I really appreciate? It's beside being another streams of income for you. It also it helps your bank account, should I say? Because anywhere in the world, someone can contact you. It doesn't matter where they are in the world, they can contact you, and you take the picture without having that person leave home. So, as we come to the close, I want you to talk a little bit about. Now, at the beginning, we talked a little bit about using images to tell a story. And I am a speaker and I train speakers. But this telling a story through the pictures, why should I care as an entrepreneur, as a speaker, as a trainer? Why should I care even more so now with the pandemic that some of us can't go to places to take pictures versus using stock photos? What is the difference and why should I care more?
Well, with stock photos, you're not getting photos that will tell your story. They're general photos that you may see on a variety of different websites or publications. With a brand shoot, working with a brand photographer, you're getting photos that were made specifically for you. They're ones that are authentic to you. They tell your story. You just can't get that from stock photography. And brand photography, you can use it in so many different ways. With my clients, they use it to launch their business. If they're a new business, they've used it for their websites. I had one client who used it for launching a new course she was offering. You can use it for rebranding, refreshing your message. It's also really good to keep your photography fresh. You may, if you have employees, they may change over the years. You want fresh images. We change our hairstyles, all sorts of things. So it's important to keep that message up to date because it shows that you're working in your business and it's not set aside, per se. People also use it to promote their status if they are a speaker or author. You can use it for PR ops. So if you get an article in a magazine, for example, they often want a photo, you can send it to that. And just in general, to connect with your audience. And you're just not going to get that. Stock photography is great, but it's not going to help you connect with your audience authentically.
I can't even tell you how many times I've seen the same stock photo that I have used in what I'm doing elsewhere. But that's what we have and that's what we use. But wouldn't that be awesome to be able to use a photograph that you will not be able to see anywhere else, even if that person is your twins? It's a look-alike, not just you. So that I really, really appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it. And I just love the options you give people. And sometimes taking a photograph, going to the studio and taking photographs, it can be, you have to take out a day to be able to do that. But with yours, it's 1 hour, you're done. 1 hour, you're done. But of course, you have planning before you are to do the shoot. There's a planning on helping an individual figure out, just like you're a coach for, taking photographs, because you have to plan with the person and find out exactly what they are going to do with the photographs and what image do they want and how do they want their clients to feel about what they are trying to do. So that's coaching in itself. You're helping them tell stories using photographs. And I can't say enough. And now I get to experience it myself because we're going to be talking about it. But before we close, do you have any final words before we close, and I really would like to give you an opportunity to talk about how you can help others, because we have guests, and after today, we're going to have a lot of guests, viewers that are really going to watch this and wonder, how can I contact you? Now they don't have to worry about where to go. They can stay where they are, and you live in England, and take their picture. And then you can go ahead and put your information as well in the comment section. So, do you have any final words regarding this whole branded photographs, to be able to tell your story, your uniqueness, the confidence it brings, and your authenticity?
Well, just if it's something that you're contemplating doing for your business, I'll put my details in the chat. Get in touch. I'm happy to offer no obligation chat with you, or we can message. Just answer your questions. I have a PDF document I've created that is your 7 tips for improving your brand, and I'd be happy to send that out absolutely free to help you. I have also recently developed a new package offering. It's a limited availability, and it's called the Virtual Storyteller. And in it, you get a photo session as well as pre-planning session and several other goodies. And I'll pop details in the chat on that too, so you can find out more information about it. But definitely brand photography, whoever you work with, it's definitely important for your business. You want to show your authenticity because it builds that level of trust.
Awesome. Like I said, you have an awesome packages, and I've never been able to see that type of packages, different varieties of packages. Like I said, you can have a package that you do quarterly. Every quarter you want to change your photographs, and depending on what you want to do, but definitely you have variety of packages to offer entrepreneurs. Hello, viewers. Darashe, Josette, and Quinette, I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any comment, please be sure to put your comment in the comment section, and Joanne will answer your question. Thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you guys being here. So go ahead and put your information in the comment section before we end today. And are you able to do that? Put your information.
Just done it.
Okay. I can't see it. Did you put it not on the private in the comment section of Facebook?
There we go. Let's see.
If you press enter, it will be able. So I don't think I see it yet. And if I can see it, maybe I can do that afterwards and put your information there. Did you already put it in?
Yeah, it's only letting me do it under private chat.
Oh, are you able to see the comment section on Facebook?
I can see it, but it won't let me enter.
It won't let you.
No.
I haven't figured this called technology. You guys, I'm trying my best. I have to figure out why sometimes it allows me to put a comment. Sometimes it doesn't allow me to put a comment. But I guess there's a section that I need to go to do something. I don't know. But anyway, so I'll be sure to put her information after the show is over. I'll put her information in the comment section so that you guys will be able to contact her, because I'm telling you, this virtual photography changes everything. Absolutely changes everything. So I just want to thank you so much for everybody and all my viewers watching now. I appreciate you guys joining us. Just remember that this is the show we do every Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And every Monday, I bring experts from different niches to really help you with your business, personal or business as well. And don't forget to join us again next Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Until next time, everybody, I appreciate each and every one of you. Take care and bye for now.
Thank
Bye.
you.